Alright, I'm back. So, I was supposed to be doing makeup looks, but things came up. That was out the window. So now I'm gonna treat you guys to two spooky stories from when I was a little kid. And it's furthering from when we last spoke about what were the earliest, or what was the earliest memory you have encountering something supernatural. So, besides hearing my name thing, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the last video. I remember being freaked out in my elementary school, like in general. It was just off, but I remember not wanting to go to school. I wanted to stay home. Everybody was a stranger to me, yada yada. I get it, but there's also that icky feeling you feel when it comes to the paranormal. If you know, you know. I don't label myself as a medium or anything. I do feel like all of us have, to some extent, to an ability to sense the other side. But I consider myself more of a clairvoyant, like an empath, and more than a medium at all. So the icky feeling was mostly in my pre-K hall. As I grew up and moved throughout the school, that was the most active. And it was the typical, it sounds silly, but it was the typical, like, you're in the bathroom stall and you feel like somebody's there with you and you check and nobody's there. That's what happened. So I remember going to the bathroom and doing my business, and of course you hear somebody next to you and you're like, oh, new friend, hi, how are you? And you kind of like peek under and like, hi. And then I was like, oh, there's no shadow, there's no shoe, but I hear them in there. And so I was like, okay, weird, so never mind, awkward. Finished my business, got out the stall, but before I got off to wash my hands, I heard my little potty buddy get up, open the door, like the stall, go to the sink, turn on the sink. And when I went out there, the sink was running by itself. Nobody was in there. And again, remember, I said I didn't see any shoes. I didn't see any shadow. So I was like, that's really, really weird. And I remember looking at the sink while I'm washing my hands, like, hurry up, hurry up. But that weird feeling did carry out to, like, their surrounding, like the perimeter of the building. So again, I felt the icky feeling in the hallway in general, in the classrooms. And then the bathroom itself was like really icky. But outside too, like even where I heard my name and stuff. But I remember learning as a kid that in one of the little tree section where like there's like grass trees, I forget what that's called, as I'm not a gardener, but like the fancy area, like where you pass by and you drive and you see the school and you see the green. One of the trees has a marker of in memory of a student who died there. And if you know the school, it's Roberts Elementary. I know, I'm not alone in this. I'll get to it. And I'm reacting like that because the people that I come across, I'm a people person, but also like reserved, if that makes sense. They're like, oh my god, like finally, like a confirmation, but I didn't want to say anything. And there's 3 people that they know that I love this spooky stuff. And 3 adults from different generations. 1 girl younger than me and 2 older than me. And I was like, how freaking cool. And they said the same spots. And so the story about the little boy is he did end up passing there, and he ended up passing because during PE the coach had them digging, and unfortunately, excuse me, I burped, the dirt was too soft and it caved in on him. His buddy was able to get out, but he couldn't get him out, and he couldn't get out, so unfortunately he passed there. I find it really interesting in like the timing of the accuracy, I guess the word is, because of the fact that my coworker, she's much older than me, beautiful lady, she told me about it. She didn't know the kid, but it happened during her time. And then I have other coworkers that gave me that whole this school was so weird. I hated that hallway. And I'm like, yes. And then they were saying the same thing that happened to me in the bathroom and stuff. They got the same thing happening to them. It was really cool and reassuring that you weren't crazy, or you weren't crazy this whole time as a kid and even an adult. And FYI, it's been all females. Woo-hoo. I guess a lot of us are really clairvoyant whether we like it or not, which is really cool. But I went off tangent. Anyways, and the next story I'll tell you about, I feel it might be that kid as well. And it'll be in part 2. I don't know how long this one is. Hopefully it's in one little video, but see you later.